Seen from space, stratocumulus clouds resemble a patchwork of patterns, and like black fingerprints on a clean white sheet, pockets of open cells appear as regions of less cloudy air embedded in the solid stratocumulus cloud deck, exposing the dark sea surface below. Wide expanses of stratocumulus clouds commonly form off the coast of California and its southern counterpart Chile, often extending westward from the coast for more than 1,000 kilometers. Because these clouds reflect most of the sunlight hitting them, they shine brightly from above. For the same exact reasons, the scene below the clouds is a bleak gray where the sea surface blends in with the gray overlying clouds. Stratocumulus cloud decks are not always continuous solid sheets of white. At times, darker regions, or pockets of open cells as scientists call them, are embedded in solid white, breaking it up as if a child came in and shoveled out the clouds. Taking many shapes and sizes, these regions with vastly different cloud patterns interest atmospheric scientists who ask, what creates these distinct regions of less cloudy air, and what maintains these features over the course of several days? The pockets of open cells get their name from the circulation patterns that form the clouds. Normally, circulation in solid stratocumulus clouds is organized so that narrow regions of stronger downdrafts are surrounded by wider regions of weaker updrafts. This is called a closed cell circulation. You see an opposite circulation pattern in pockets of open cells. Narrow regions of stronger updrafts are surrounded by wider regions of weaker downdrafts. This circulation is also seen on sunny summer days when puffy white cotton candy looking cumulus clouds form. Pockets of open cells are regions of open cell circulation embedded in a much larger region of closed cell circulation. From above, you can see how the circulation patterns affect where the clouds form. Between October and November of 2008, an international group of scientists conducted the Vocals Regional Experiment, a field experiment to study the climate system over the South Pacific Ocean. One of its goals, to fly through pockets of open cells. The NSF NCAR C-130 aircraft was one of 4 aircrafts deployed during Vocals. In addition to measuring many other properties of the atmosphere, the C-130 was equipped with instruments to study cloud properties, precipitation, and the number of small particles in the air. 6 separate flight missions were dedicated to flying through pockets of open cells to make measurements within them. We'll go on one such flight. The satellite image on the top right shows the position of the aircraft relative to the pocket of open cell. On this particular flight pattern, the C-130 flew southwestward from outside to inside the pocket of open cell. The first graph on the right is data from the upward pointing Wyoming Cloud Radar and the Wyoming Cloud LiDAR. It shows the thickness of the overlying clouds. The second graph, also from the Cloud Radar, shows us the intensity of the precipitation falling from the clouds. The third graph gives us the concentration of very small particles in the air. The small particles or aerosol particles are essential for cloud formation. They act as the nucleation sites on which water vapor can condense on to form cloud droplets. In the graphs, the plane will be flying from right to left. What's to the right is outside of the pocket of open cell. What's to the left is inside the pocket of open cells. What's in blue is what's to come, red, what we've already passed. Finally, the video on the left comes from a digital camera built into the nose of the aircraft. It will give us a sense of what it's like to fly through these pockets of open cells. Now flying below the clouds at an altitude of about 100 meters, we see from the video that it's gray and overcast. There appears to be no end to it. On the graph to the right, we can see the clouds are typically the same thickness. There's some precipitation, but very light. The concentration of small particles is around 100 per cubic centimeter. We are in a region of closed cell circulation. As we approach the edge of the pocket of open cell, the clouds get thicker, and the precipitation rate picks up. And now, the clouds break up and you can see the blue sky. We're in a region with open cell circulation. We can see that the number of small particles have gone down and precipitation has become patchier, but also heavier. So far, scientists have identified heavier precipitation as a key feature of pockets of open cells, changing the circulation pattern from closed to open cell circulation. The decreased concentration of small particles in the air also plays an important role. Studies have shown that water clouds such as these precipitate more readily when there are fewer numbers of small particles. Scientists have been able to better understand what mechanisms help to maintain the pockets of open cells. Yet we still don't have a strong grasp as to its origin. What initially creates these regions with heavy precipitation and low concentrations of small particles? Scientists continue to study the data from the Volcal's field experiment and have started employing regional scale computer models to find clues to its origins. With a better understanding of how these pockets of open cells form, perhaps we can better predict when these pockets of open cells appear. Until then, we can continue marveling at the range of intriguing patterns that nature provides us with.